In our daily lives, we often fall into the habit of comparing ourselves to others. Social media worsens this tendency by showcasing other people's achievements, happiness, and glamorous lifestyles. We see someone getting a promotion, getting married, buying a new house, or traveling to exotic places, and we unconsciously start asking, why isn't my life like theirs? However, Stoic philosophy teaches us that such comparisons only lead to suffering. Marcus Aurelius in Meditations wrote, "Do not waste your energy worrying about what others are doing. Live your life with awareness and integrity." This means that instead of spending time observing others' lives, we should redirect our attention inward. We should focus on self-improvement, growth, and how we can live wisely. In this video, we will explore the Stoic philosophy that teaches us to focus on ourselves rather than on others. We will discuss the concept of control, inner peace, virtue, mental resilience, and how we can apply Stoic principles in modern life. Part 1. Understanding what we can and cannot control. Why is control the key to inner peace? One of the main principles in Stoicism is distinguishing between things we can control and things we cannot. Epictetus in Enchiridion said, "There are things within our control, and there are things beyond our control." True happiness comes from understanding this difference. Let's examine some examples. Things we can control: our thoughts, our actions, how we respond to situations, the effort we put into our work or relationships, our values and principles. Things we cannot control: other people's opinions of us, other people's decisions and actions, unexpected events, e.g. pandemics, economic crises, the past which has already happened, the final outcome of our efforts. Many people waste immense emotional energy trying to control things that are actually beyond their control. We worry about what others think of us, feel frustrated by others' behavior, or even feel angry about things that have already happened in the past. However, Stoicism teaches us that inner peace can only be achieved if we accept this reality and focus on what we can control. How to apply this principle in daily life. 1. Stop seeking validation from others. If we constantly seek validation from others, we will always feel inadequate. Instead, we should ask ourselves, am I living my life according to my own principles and values? Try to accept uncertainty in life. Life is full of unexpected events. Instead of complaining or feeling hopeless, we can learn to accept reality and adapt. 3. Train yourself to focus on actions, not outcomes. We cannot control the final outcome, but we can control our efforts. For example, instead of stressing about whether we will get promoted, we should focus on doing our best work. Part 2. Avoiding social comparison. Why do we often compare ourselves to others? The tendency to compare ourselves to others is natural. Since childhood, we have been taught to measure ourselves by external standards, grades in school, social status, or material achievements. However, in today's digital era, comparisons have become even more toxic because we are constantly exposed to the idealized lives of others on social media. Seneca in Letters to Lucilius wrote, "Do not let your happiness depend on how other people's lives appear from the outside. Everyone has their own journey." This means that we must stop measuring our success by others' standards. Everyone has their own path in life, and comparing ourselves to others only leads to suffering. How to overcome the habit of comparing yourself. 1. Reduce social media consumption. Social media often only showcases the best versions of people's lives. By spending less time on these platforms, we can focus more on our own real lives. 2. Practice gratitude. Every day, take a moment to reflect on what you already have. By practicing gratitude, you will focus more on the abundance in your life rather than on what you lack. 3. Set personal success standards. Instead of adopting others' standards of success, we should define what success means for ourselves. Is it living with integrity, being a good parent, developing healthy habits? Focus on what truly matters to you. Part 3. Living a virtuous life. Stoicism is not just about controlling our thoughts and avoiding social comparison. It is also about living a life of virtue. In Stoic philosophy, true happiness does not come from wealth, fame, or worldly pleasures, but from how we live our lives according to virtuous principles. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "True happiness comes when we live in harmony with virtue. No external thing can replace the inner peace gained from living rightly." The 4 cardinal virtues of Stoicism. Stoicism teaches that a good life is based on 4 main virtues. 1. Wisdom. Wisdom is the ability to distinguish between right and wrong, understand the consequences of our actions, and make the right decisions. In daily life, wisdom means not acting recklessly, not being swayed by temporary emotions, and always seeking rational solutions. 2. Courage. Courage is not just about facing physical danger, but also about having the determination to do what is right even when it is difficult. In modern life, courage can mean speaking up for what is right, facing challenges with calmness, or staying strong in the face of failure. 3. Justice. Justice in Stoicism is not just about law, but about how we treat others with fairness, kindness, and respect. Justice means not deceiving others for personal gain, and always being honest in every interaction. 4. Temperance, self-control. Temperance is the ability to resist unnecessary temptations and desires. In daily life, this could mean controlling emotions, avoiding excessive consumption, and staying focused on what truly matters. By living according to these virtues, we not only become better individuals, but also find greater peace and contentment within ourselves. Part 4. Building mental resilience in facing challenges. Life is full of challenges, and no one can avoid difficulties. However, what separates strong people from weak ones is how they respond to difficult situations. Epictetus said, "It is not events that determine our happiness, but how we react to them." Stoic methods for facing adversity. 1. Accept reality as it is. The first lesson Stoicism teaches is to accept reality as it is. If we lose a job, face failure, or experience loss, we must accept that this is part of life. Instead of complaining, we should ask, "What can I learn from this situation?" 2. See difficulties as opportunities for growth. Every challenge carries a lesson. Stoics believe that difficulties are opportunities to practice virtues such as patience, perseverance, and courage. 3. Practice indifference to emotional disruptions. One of Stoicism's most powerful principles is amor fati, or loving one's fate. This means accepting everything that happens with an open heart, and not letting negative emotions control us. 4. Use negative visualization, premeditatio malorum. Stoics practiced a mental exercise called premeditatio malorum, which involves imagining the worst-case scenario so that we are prepared to face it. By developing mental resilience like this, we can face life more calmly, without being overwhelmed by excessive fear and anxiety. Part 5. Conclusion. Living a life focused on yourself. Ultimately, Stoic philosophy teaches that true happiness comes from within. The key principles we should hold on to are: focus on what you can control. Stop comparing yourself to others. Live according to virtue. Build mental resilience. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not waste your time thinking about how others see you. Live your life in the best way and let that be your answer." At the end of the day, life is not about how we appear in others' eyes, but about how we live with meaning, peace, and integrity.